Legacy Kingsman legacy was to secure progress on civil rights in the US. Just days after King's assassination, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act of 1968. Title 8 of the Act, commonly known as the Fair Housing Act, prohibited discrimination in housing and housing-related transactions on the basis of race, religion, or national origin, later expanded to include sex, familial status, and disabilities. This legislation was seen as a tribute to the King's struggle in his final year to combat residential discrimination in the U.S. Internationally, King's legacy includes influence on the Black consciousness movement and the civil rights movement in South Africa. King's work was cited by and served as the inspiration for South African leader Albert Luthuli, who fought for racial justice in his country and was later awarded the Nobel Prize. The day following King's assassination, school teacher Jane Elliott conducted her first Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes exercise with her class of elementary school students in the Rice Valley, Iowa. Her purpose was to help them understanding King's death as it's related to racism, something they little understand as they lived in a predominantly white community. King has become a national icon in the history of the American liberalism and the American progressivism. King also influenced Irish politicians and activists. John Hume, who the former leader of the Social Democratic Labour Party, cited King's legacy as a coincidental to the Northern Irish civil rights movement and the signing of the Good Friday Agreement, calling him one of my great heroes of the century. King's wife, Corsia Scott King, followed in her husband's footsteps and was active in the matter of the social justice and civil rights until her death in 2006, the same year that Martin Luther King was assassinated. She established the King Center in Atlanta, Georgia, dedicated to preserving his legacy and the work of campaigning the nonviolent conflict resolution and tolerance worldwide. Their son, Dr. King, served as a center chairman. Daughter Yolanda King, who died in 2007, was a motivational speaker, author, and founder and Higher Ground Productions, an organization specializing in the diversity training. Even within the King family, members disagree about his religious and political views about gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. King's widow, Croatia, publicly said that she believed her husband would have supported gay rights. However, his youngest child, Bernice King, has said publicly that he would have been opposed to gay marriage. On February 4, 1968, at the Ebenezer Baptist Church, in the speaking about how he wished to be remembered after his death, King stated, "I would like somebody to mention that day Martin Luther King Jr. tried to give his life serving others. I would like for somebody to say that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to love somebody. I want you to say that I tried to be right on the war question. I want you to be able to say that I did try to feed the hungry. I want you to able to say that I did try in my life to clothe those who were naked. I want you to say on that day that I did try to in my life to visit those who were in prisons, and I want you to say that I tried to love and serve humanity. Yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness, and all of the other shallow things will not matter. I won't have any money to leave behind. I won't have the fine and luxurious thing of life to leave behind, but I just want to leave a committed life behind.